Well, Soundscape is pretty nice for what we're doing, and don't know if you
Lock and load.
noticed, but we've been using it for quite some while. Every game we've been running.
Yes.
So,
Won't work.
um, who's doing the recap this week? Think that's Joe?
That'd be like
It was a pretty short one. I can do it, no problem.
What
she said. The guys were on the way here looking for the Sun Sword, and they reunited with Zuck again. And as we approached the place where the Sun Sword was supposed to be, there was a man tied to a wall, and we ended up freeing him from the wall, and he turned to dust. And then there was another man inside the house, and we ran in to try to get the information from him, and Baba Lagisa came flying out of the swamp towards us. And last I remember, we were all huddled inside the house, and it has no roof.
Well, some of you were huddled in the house, indeed.
nice try, Joe. Nice try.
I'm not seeing the map appear if I click on the tokens, by the way.
I know, because the map has not been shared yet. Let's remedy that situation right now. So you are all getting ready to fight Baba Lagisa, or at the very least have something to do with her. Is everybody ready for the fight of your lives?
I surely hope that I roll a good initiative on this one.
Who was taking on Rudolph again?
What do you mean?
Well, Luke's not playing.
I really need to have my phone up more often.
Well, he's not in here.
I just realised that. I can't have both windows open at the same time. Yeah, I've been busy.
It offered to do it, but I don't know if that's a good idea. But if push comes to shove, I'll take him.
Well, seeing as this is a potentially very deadly battle,
yeah,
I think one should be the one responsible for their own death, so to say.
Wow.
Indeed. I will see what I can do. But I'm not processing anything, and if I don't feel like playing Rudolph, he will not be in the fight.
Sure.
Is everybody ready? Yeah?
Yes. Yes.
You feel okay, maybe?
Alright. As you're all moving in to this little ruin, you hear coming from the east, northeast, a cackling. Everybody roll for initiative.
Ugh.
Do you want me to roll for Gary?
Sure.
Oh.
Oh, now I roll high.
Every time I see Godfrey's HP, I'm like, holy shit. That guy's a fucking tank.
We got a 4.
Gary got 19.
19 and Godfrey got a 4.
Yeah.
He rolled a 4, but maybe his dex modifier is higher. Doesn't really matter though.
Well, he got a 4 anyway.
Oh,
Sir Godfrey.
So Godfrey got a 4.
4.
call blimey, governor.
Governor.
All right,
Sir Godfrey rolled a 4.
let's get to it. Gary. What does Gary do?
Harry rolled the highest initiative.
I know. Gary was watching. I told Gary to be watching to alert me something was coming, so I assume he knows. He can see Babla Geese, right? So he's going to come. You haven't locked the tokens, my friend. Gary is going to rush down and be with me.
Be with me, Gary.
He... Wow, he's really slow, isn't he? Come on, Gary, you can do it.
It's 6 seconds, dude. He was very fast.
How high is that wall in front of us? Like, can you see me on the other side?
Nope.
Okay, cool. Well, that'll be his turn because he can't get past Rudolph.
All right. Next up.
How high is this wall behind me?
Well, it's not. It's pretty high, but the fact is that it also has a hole in it.
Yes, I know. I was planning on hiding behind this wall and see if maybe she did not notice me.
Roll me a stealth check.
On its way.
Then I do not notice me.
12.
As you're running away, you look back to see if she has noticed you, and you see her locking eyes with you.
Might as well step out. Or at least shout out to her. Pardon me, lady. Can I ask for your name? And don't mind me hiding. I am a very shy person.
Is that your turn?
That is my turn.
All right. Dana, you hear movement coming from, well, inside the house. The call's coming from inside the house.
I was just thinking that same thing.
It's zombies again?
Is anybody playing Rudolph?
Oh, you cut out.
Is anybody playing Rudolph?
I won't be responsible for his death.
No.
He
No,
did
yeah, me
offer,
neither.
but
Well, it's one question. Anybody playing Rudolph? 5, 4?
Yeah.
3?
I'll swap. If somebody wants to take Godfrey,
Oh, I'll do that.
then
Oh.
I'll take Rudolph. Because we
Alright.
need Rudolph in this fight.
Yeah.
All right. Zuck, tell me if you can see what Rudolph is seeing.
Yep.
Yep. All right.
Let me give it just
Oh.
a touch real quick.
I got Zuck's the sheet for some reason.
Okay, yeah. I have Rudolph's, yep.
All right. Oh shit! I probably did the wrong one. Sorry. There you go, Seraphin.
There you go.
Alright, and it's Rudolph's turn.
Yeah.
We all know that
Joe, thank you, by the way. Thank you.
yeah. We need it. Like it can't be gone. But seeing as how Rudolph is being heals and everything else, and we all know she's here, right?
Yeah, well,
Right.
you would have heard the cackling on the wind.
Okay, so
All
just
of you
just for
hear
right
it.
now, Rudolph is going to run over here in between the two walls to take a tactical position, so that way he's not struck yet.
All right, so he double moved. He rushed.
Oh, is that a dash for him?
Well, it was 35, so
Okay, yeah, he'll just dash over there then and end
Yeah.
his turn.
all right. Do you need me
I
to?
can't pass it though.
All right. This little missy moves here and says, "You touch the ship, you touch the fence."
My apology, lady. I was trying to hide from the ghost.
Oh. The
It was
ghost?
not my intention to startle the sheep.
No, it is never the intention, but still, it happens. Show yourself. And that's her turn. Bax. From the south, hiding in the bushes, you see something moving towards you. And it points a finger at you and says, "Puke!" You take 2d8 points of damage as this thing
Damn.
rolled a natural 20 on you.
Damn.
And I will roll the Constitution saving throw for you, or do you want to do it yourself?
I'm just making sure that. Or protect. No, you can roll it. Everything's on. It's supposed to be on.
You rolled a 22,
Nice.
which means that you beat the DC 12 by 10.
Yay! Just put a scratch.
You are not poisoned.
That would have sucked.
That would have sucked indeed. Dana, you hear from the south something moving. It sounds a bit hayish, for lack of a better word, as a construct made of hay moves towards you and uses a claw attack on you. 22.
Hits.
Right, roll me a wisdom saving throw.
16.
You're alright. Tries to attack again. 17.
Hits.
Again, these claws with razor sharp hay try to attack you. And roll me another wisdom saving throw.
16 again.
You're alright.
Thank
Now,
you.
we all know what's gonna happen if she has the capability. But Trish, it's your turn.
How high are these walls?
They're like
They
3
were
times your
30.
size.
Yeah.
What's that in feet?
I thought it was like 30 last time. The
Yeah.
outer walls.
The
30
inner
feet.
walls
Oh,
is like 3 floors, aren't they?
Yeah, but there's an opening. You've seen everyone go through here.
Yeah, I know. It's just that everyone's starting to get bunched up in that opening.
Ah, yeah,
And
yeah.
if I had the option of going over, I'd rather go over.
Well, like I would allow a dex check. Like it's a crummy wall, so there are purchase points all along the wall that you could theoretically climb on. But it would take your movement to go up because it's 30 feet, and another movement to go down. So you
Yeah,
would-
that's
the
the thing. You know what? No, I'll do. No, I can't do that. No, I will just go around. And then I will. So that's. I will dash there. And then I will use my cunning action to dash again and hide in these bushes.
Right. Well,
But as
Yeah.
as I pass Seraphim, I tap him on the shoulder to let him know where I'm going and that I'm like hiding in these bushes over there.
See you.
Seraphim, you feel a lightly caress gently on your shoulder. You look down and you see this little halfling woman just booking it for these bushes. Is that your turn, Trish?
Yeah, that would be my turn.
All right, Seraphim, you're up.
Seeing that Trish is moving into a position of herself, Seraphim will step towards Zuckad and Bax. And he will say, "Oh, you two might need some swiftness, some hardness, and some swinging." And he does a very fast motion with his hands, and you see this ball of energy pop up, and he splits it in two because he is twin casting haste on Zuckad and Bax,
Well
which
done.
means you get a +2 bonus to AC, you have advantage on dexterity saving throws, and you gain an additional action on each of your turns, which can be used for an attack, dash, disengage, hide, or use an object. So,
Love you, Sam.
let me tick these 3 off, and I will target you two. So, most importantly, your speed is doubled.
Yeah, that's a game
Beautiful.
changer.
It is for
And
melee fighters, isn't it?
I will apply the concentration to myself. But this also means that if you dash, it's quadruple speed. Just so you know.
So we could essentially, if we dashed, move 120 feet in one turn.
And that's exactly what I was thinking about, seeing how far you guys are from everything.
Oh, this is great. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
That's a 3rd level spell, and as I've done that, I'll move back up to Trish to hide with her, and I'll ask, Trish, what is your plan?
Can I respond since I'm outside?
Sure. Yeah.
Yep. I'll whisper back saying that I've got no fucking clue. Like I can shoot her, I guess, but that's about it.
Well, maybe we can both do that. Let's see. And I pass my turn.
All right, Bax.
Yes.
What do you do?
I go to Pound Town. I move up to the unknown humanoid,
Yep.
and I will attempt to kill her. Oh wait, no, I get an additional action, right? Because of the haste.
Yes.
So I used one of my actions to cast Protection of Good and Evil on myself, which is Protection of Good and Evil.
As you're walking there, you catch a glimpse of a scarecrow. Just outside.
Where back? Just there. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's that one. And then I will attack the unknown humanoid that is currently in front of me. If I can why can't I target it?
You already targeted her.
Oh, am I?
Try again?
You already targeted her, and now you untargeted her.
Okay, so I'm not targeted. I think there's too much text in my box. I can't see.
All right. I'll move her down just a bit.
Thank you.
Do you target her now?
I clicked on her. Whether or not there's a delay.
I don't see it.
I don't see it either. Which one is she in? Oh, the one. There we go. And then I will attack her. 16.
Yeah, that hits.
Then
There you go.
I will give her the good news. I gave her the good news.
Jeez.
She dead.
She dead. Is she? It's like, did I take her head off?
You tell me.
I took her head off, clean off. And then I used 15 to get down here. I have 60 movement, so I'll make my way over to the scarecrow.
That's 35.
I
I'll
get
just
60.
keep track for
I
you.
get, yeah,
Jeffy,
I'm gonna
in
need
chat.
it. So I'm gonna need it. And then I'll use my other action. I'll use my bonus action to attack it because I've still got another attack as well because I killed something. 16.
Nice.
I attack, and then use my other attack. Oh, and that one. And that is what I do. And I tell Gary to help whoever needs helping.
Wait, Chubby, how many attacks do you have by yourself?
I have 2 from my multi attack, and then from my feet, if I kill anyone, I get an additional attack.
Yeah, but you're
You're hasted.
Yeah, but I already used an action to cast Protection of Good and Evil on myself.
That was...
That's an action. Yeah, so I've used 2 actions, which was 2 attacks and that, and then my bonus.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
And I tell Gary to help whoever needs helping. So if anyone wants to mount Gary, they may.
Ooh. All right, Zach, what do you do?
This wall next to me over here, is that open? Can I actually see that creature there?
No, you can't.
Okay. Then
But
I
you
will
can
come
hear
out.
something hey walking around there.
Okay, I will run out here. And do I notice him running by the wall?
Yeah, like basically, I imagine that as you're running, you are a competent fighter. So as you're running, you're checking all your corners. Your head is on a swivel. You see this one, and also to a lesser extent, this one.
Okay. I'll run up to this one first. Try to give him a whacking. 4.
That's such a Joe roll.
Nope.
Right. I'll swing around again.
Come on, Joe. There you go.
There you go.
And then I use my... Well, I have another action for the haste, right?
Yeah.
Then I will swing on him again. 7.
No. He
And
dodges it. He saw your attack coming.
I'll try my bonus. And I'm
A
so
5
hasted.
also misses for some reason.
So much haste that I forgot how to swing.
You haven't quite remembered how to use your arms and legs yet, right? After just coming back from the dead.
It's
Right.
difficult indeed. As like this aggressively attractive, well padded scarecrow moves towards you, backs and like a 16
Does not hit.
does not hit.
Get out of here.
roll me a wisdom saving throw as you see its eyes glare up red with
Sexy.
fire.
A wisdom saving throw, you sexy beast. A 27.
Oh.
You're all right.
What are you looking at, sweet cheeks?
Dana, you see from the north a gangly looking creature move towards you. As Zuck, you feel the claws of this thing scrape your armor. Does an 18 hit?
Yeah.
Alright, you take 2d4 plus 1 slashing, does 5. Give me a wisdom saving throw. You're
14.
alright, as you get another attack. A 14.
Misses.
Oh,
Nice.
Nice. Sir Godfrey.
Are you gonna survive this fight, Joe?
Oh, shots fired.
It just getting started.
He's just breaking in the body. Give him a chance. You're going for a new record, right? One fight. One fight and down. It's you, sir.
Oh, sorry, yes. Diane, Baba Gisa, is she visible for Sir Godfrey? Is she flying, or I didn't get that part.
She is... You don't know. Because Sir Godfrey cannot see her.
Okay. Well, seeing as everyone is hot on the action, wait, before you approve this, let me check what the distance is. He can run 30, so he's going to pass Gary here by dashing.
Yeah, you're comfortable with this action?
Well, he's looking for action, so I'm not sure what he would do otherwise.
Alright. It's his funeral.
Well, what is dead cannot die, Swas.
Oh.
Oh, really?
With strange eons, even death may die. That's his turn.
Yes.
What, pray tell, does Gary do?
Gary cannot get past Godfrey, I assume.
Nope.
Is just as a meta question, anyone actually want to use Gary?
Well,
I could use some help.
Okay.
No,
Gary...
don't, dude. Seriously,
No,
that will be a death
Gary's-
sentence for Gary.
well,
You know who we're talking about, right? It's just a day at the office. Gary is going to heed my command, and he is going to move 120 feet. Well, at the moment, towards me. But he's going to pass. So.
There Gary goes.
Knowing he can't get past where Godfrey is, and he's just looking for someone to help. And that is Gary's turn.
Alright. Dana.
I am going to use my telekinetic ability to try and punch Baba off her skull.
Alright, tell me about telekinetic.
I can do you one better.
Alright.
So I step out, or no, I can't step out. I shout to her, Madame, as it is clear that you are aggressive towards me, even though I offered my apologies, I see this as an act of aggression and will retaliate. At which point I cast the Mage Hand, place it right in front of her face, and
well,
punch.
That would mean you have to move.
Out of cover,
Yeah. What's the range on Mage Hand?
30 feet.
That's not gonna work.
So she's up in the air.
Yeah.
Oh, bugger. In that case, I'm just gonna attack the thing in front of me. Damn, I thought I had a good idea.
You did.
If you get underneath her, you can.
Yeah.
If she's only 30 feet up in the air.
Yeah, but the moment I move, this thing will attack me.
It's going to attack you anyway.
Yeah, but I've got a silver sickle. So I go towards the straw man. This implement is your ancestors' doom. And I slice it in the first attack. Going with a 25.
25 hits.
Dang.
That's 9 damage to it. Then I go with my second attack on it.
Mm-hmm.
15 damage. 15.
15 damage. You wish. No, 15 hits.
15 hits. Okay. There we go.
Again,
That's
max damage.
9.
Well done.
Yeah. And I follow it up with an unarmed strike straight to its chest. 12.
It hits.
And that's 8 damage.
It does ample damage indeed.
And that will be the end of my turn then.
Alright. You hear cackling like Baba Lagisa, but to a lesser extent, as something is moving towards you.
Another one.
It's
Another
almost
enemy.
as if something or some woman prepared for your return. She extends her hand towards you. A 18, Dana.
Hits.
You take 2d8 of poison, which is 6 damage on 2d8. Could be worse.
Yeah.
Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
It's about
10.
to get worse.
Yeah.
Ooh. As this sickly green ray from the point of her gnawed finger latches onto you, you first feel poison coursing through your veins. You try to resist it, but alas, you cannot. You are now poisoned.
God dang it.
Gosh darn tune.
I dislike this woman.
You're not the only one.
Indeed. As Bax, you see one of these things move towards you and try to attack you with a ray. A 23.
Wow! Ow! That hit!
Wait, including the +2 AC?
Oh, it does not hit. My AC.
So fast.
One time.
It misses on a fucking 19.
Wow.
I rolled a 19 plus 4, 23. It still misses.
That's why I have haste in my pocket on backs.
Thank you, Sal.
Got haste in my pockets.
How long does it last for?
10 rounds.
Yeah, a minute.
Okay. You could do a lot in a minute, though.
Alright.
Dude, 10 rounds is a fucking lot.
Uh-huh.
This one runs here. Looks back. Like run. Looks at Zuck. Zuck, give me a wisdom saving throw. You're alright.
Nice, Joe.
I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get one of you with this ability. As Rudolph takes the stage.
I'm just excited that Joe isn't crippled in round 2.
Yet.
No, it's
Like,
round
Joe-
3 he gets crippled in. What are you talking about?
Joe's being allowed to play for a change. Like, I'm loving it.
Go on, Joe. You can do
Okay.
it.
Now, Rudolph, I was having a look through. Rudolph is going to move down here. And then he is going... Wow, that's moving super slow.
Quite a big map.
I don't know how to target. But he's going to cast Guardian of Faith.
Ooh.
And he's going to drag it. Okay. Wow, that's super... Okay. He'll cast Guardian of Faith right here. So right here is a giant spirit guardian. And if anything moves within 10 feet of it, they take 20 radiant damage. Or half as much on a successful save. So basically there's just a giant guardian guy that's going to swing at anything that comes close. Well, any hostile thing.
All right.
And then he'll end his turn there.
All right. Remind me of this.
Yep.
Well, maybe put down a token, Sebas.
I put down the
or-
token.
or,
Yeah, so you just can't really see it. It's off to the left of me.
It's
Yeah,
20?
you can see
20?
it on the map. You can zoom in.
Oh,
10.
there.
It actually says Guardian of the Faith, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's neat.
Where? Oh,
It
there.
doesn't-
So
But
anything
it's-
moved in 10 feet of that circle that's there, they have to do a save or take. They have to do a save to see if they take the full 20 or half of it. Yep.
All right. Yeah. So it's anything that comes into this location.
Yep.
All right. Enemies. Yeah. All right.
Yep.
Cool.
Any hostile.
Sebas.
You see where he was trying to get me for that, can you?
Yeah.
No, no, no. just to. I know,
Yeah.
Because if it's anybody, I would move it further down. But if it's only hostiles, I would move it further up. So this avenue of attack would have been closed.
That would have been
Basically.
clever. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically I would move it here. Here. So anything that tried to get through it would be
Hurt. Yeah.
hurt.
Yeah.
But it's you, Rudolph.
Yeah. Well, he knows that Zuck's there and Godfrey's near him too.
Yeah, that's true.
He knows we got his back. But it's a nice little choke point, though.
It is. It really is.
But I can't tick off his spell slot, though. That was a 4th level, and I can't pass his turn.
I ticked his spell slot. And here we go. 4th level is ticked off, and he changed his thing.
Oh boy. Here we go.
Finger of Death.
All right. Oh yeah. Bex,
Yes, sir.
give me a dexterity saving throw.
Yes, sir.
You have advantage on those. Oh yeah,
I do.
It does automatically.
Yes.
You see
23.
Baba on her little skull, high up in the air, point at you, and you see lightning crackle towards you, but it just misses on the floor, which means that she has used 1 3rd level spell slot,
Awesome.
and she
Go a bit
cackles
safer.
again. Next up is construct number 4, tries to attack Dana with a 4. I'm assuming that misses. Tries
Misses.
to attack again at 12.
Misses as well.
Ooh, Dana, you are on. Well, you're not actually on fire, but you're doing all right. Frisch.
I whisper to Seraphim, maybe it's time to activate Project Giant Eagle.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
I will, but I would make Max lose the haste. I'll let them solve their little problem and then I'll do it.
And I'm gonna whisper back. Okay, let me have a peek over this wall. So I'm gonna climb up the wall,
Yeah.
which is I can do that in just one action to climb up.
You would do a dexterity check.
Do I also have to do a dexterity check to come down? I guess, right?
Well, let's see your dexterity. Like, if it's really bad, maybe, but if it's
It's
just high...
18.
Oh yeah, no, you're good.
Okay, so I will climb up to see what I can see on the other side.
The thing that you can see is that there is a muddy, crusted humanoid standing close to Dana, another scarecrow standing close to Dana, and in the sky you see a giant skull with that's not good. A person, a humanoid, standing on top of it, cackling madly.
Has she seen me? Or like, am I grabbing her attention?
Well, you're just peeking over the wall, so for now, no.
Let me see what... No, I will climb on top of the wall and loose an arrow at the thing that's attacking Dana and then quickly climb down again.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah, alright, cool. Oh,
So
that
21.
hits. That hits.
Nice.
You get sneak damage as well, don't you?
Mhm.
I do.
Actually hidden this time.
Yeah. And you got
Actually-
Dana an ally next to the target
Yep.
as well.
Yeah, just that one.
And the
Oh,
arrow
yeah.
just
Good rose.
splices through his heart as it stops a mere centimeter from Dana's face. And the construct just falls down to the floor.
And I lock eyes with Dana and do like a little salute, and then I climb back down. And I
Give a salute back.
Seraphim.
Do you imitate being in a lift and you just press the button and go... boo, 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 boo.
That's the end of my turn.
Alright, Seraphim.
This is not necessarily being done right now, but I want a ruling from the DMs of us.
That's me.
Yeah. So I have a spell that has a condition. It says if the object isn't being worn or carried, the skull upon which Baba Lagisa is sitting, would that apply?
No.
It isn't being worn or
It
carried.
would
I
not.
imagine.
It would not. No.
Awesome.
I know what you're going to do.
Let's see. I like a couple of battles ago. I realized how much concentration spells I have. So I'm not really.
Just so you know, the skull is being worn / carried by Baba.
Oh, it is. You say.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
It is. It is worn or carried.
Okay. I'll read that when I'm done here. I don't think I have much to do then, besides. I kind of want to keep. Oh, is there like a specific spot that I can see that is like relatively much higher than the rest?
Well, you see like a little tree-like thing right here that you could climb.
Okay. Is anyone near me hurt? No. No, I'm gonna hold my action for when I see Baba Lagisa.
All right. Baxi boy.
I am going to continue my attack on the aggressively attractive one. I believe I'm still targeting him. I am. Does a 14 hit?
It does.
Then I I attempt to kill him.
It does.
It's like you
Did you want-
slice open its belly, and hey, comes pouring out.
Ooh. I then tell Gary, "Flee! Run, Gary! Help others!" And I run towards the unknown humanoid. 24. And I will attack this one.
All right.
Does a 6 hit?
It does not.
I use my bonus action from the previous kill. Does a 16 hit?
It's her AC exactly. So
That means it hits, right?
Yep.
I will put a level 1 smite on this one.
Sure you will.
And I...
You cleave her in twain.
I apologize. I didn't say that to Gary before. I apologize to Gary. She's 30 feet up in the air, right?
Well, she is more than 30 feet up in the air.
Okay. How high up is she?
How high do you want her to be? Plus 10.
No. How high is she?
110 feet then.
She is 45 feet up in the air that you can see.
Is that your final ruling?
Sure.
I ask because I'm going to do a Luke now. Are you sure 45 is where she is?
It is 45 feet up in the air as of now. Yes.
Okay. And
Don't
the
count the
wall,
DM.
the wall here, you said was 30 feet high.
Which wall?
The wall right above me.
No, that's 15 feet high.
It's 15 feet. Hang on, I got to do maths now.
I know.
Oh, right. I see what you're doing. Do you know what I'm trying to do?
I have an inkling, but I'm not sure.
Fuck's sake. I'll yeah. Hang on, let me just quickly look.
Remember when you thought you would never use...
Yes, I know what you. You know. But I need to get her off. She has to come off. And if Gary's going to be that sacrificial lamb, then he will. If I can reach her, I would.
I just calculated it. If you go on top of that wall, she is exactly 46 feet away.
Yeah, it's 30 feet.
Like, at an angle.
It's 30 feet. That's the cast range.
Actually, if you would stand here, it would be within 30 feet.
Would it?
Yes, because then it's 25 feet on this direction.
Minus 15 from the 45 pushes it to 30 feet high.
No, I'm sorry. That would
it wouldn't be. Yeah, no, it'd still be too far away. It's a shame because that would have been interesting. I will then use my other action that I have from haste to cast a magical darkness around her that I can see through.
Ooh, that's good.
60 foot.
She can't see shit.
She can't see nothing. Nobody else can see anything either because it's darkness. But I can.
Can you move that darkness, by the way, Joby?
I'll have to read it, but right now it's on top of her. So I don't know how. I'm crap at drawing. I'm sorry, I've never really got around to doing it. But if somebody wants to do it, I'd appreciate it. Yeah. And that will be. I'll take off my first level spell slot.
Is it
Is it-
30 or 60?
It says 60.
Oh, jeez.
Hang on, let me just double check. Yeah, 60 foot. Oh wait, no, 60 foot range. My apologies. Is it 60 foot? Hang on.
I think it's 15 foot.
Not very
if it's
often I
dark.
use this. Yeah, it's a different kind of darkness though.
Oh,
My apologies. Casting time, range is 60 foot.
maddening darkness?
No.
Devouring darkness? No.
Ah, that's a shame. It's 15 foot radius. My apologies. I misread it. It's 60 foot range. And that is my first level spell slot ticked off. And my other one for my smite. And I then move into the darkness.
All right.
And that is my turn.
Well, tell me about this darkness. Is it like a ball of darkness? Is it a cone shooting straight up?
It's a sphere of darkness that surrounds her.
All right. All right.
Like it's a magical darkness. That is literally like a sphere that's surrounding her. That unless she has, well, I'm assuming true sight, she can't see out of it.
Right, but is
Yeah,
it
or
cast,
blind sight.
Or
is
blind
it-
sight, yeah.
Is it cast on a specific point or on her personally?
It doesn't say that it can be cast on someone. It's just on a space of my choosing.
All
Yeah,
right.
point.
So I'm assuming it's just there. She can move out of it. It
Yeah.
doesn't move with her.
That's
Oh,
what I
oh.
wanted to know.
But she's also, I can only assume she'll be a bit dumbfounded at which way is which.
Joby,
Like-
you can point it on an object and it would move with it, but only if it's, again, not worn or carried.
What do you mean? Sorry. So,
So
I
you could-
can put it on her?
You could put it on a stone and throw it, but you could
Ah,
not
alright.
put it on the skull or her staff or something because she's wearing or carrying it.
Oh, she's carrying the skull, isn't she? Oh, that's
Yeah.
a shame. Okay, cool. That's good to know.
I will
That
continue
is
to-
my turn.
Okay.
Sorry, Joe.
No, you're good, man.
That
25.
hits.
Bang, Joe! Look at you.
Yeah, boy!
Dice color.
That's all.
And then I will run up to this guy. And start trying to whack on him. Kind of help free Dana up a little bit.
Ooh.
Oh,
that's
yes.
a natural 20. Oh, dang.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't feel
Yeah.
very good.
I'll use my third action. 15.
15 hits, yeah.
Nice.
And also, Dead Rooney.
And I
Look
move
at you, Joe.
with what,
Yeah,
30.
right?
So then I will move 15. That'll be 30. That's 45 feet movement so far. I can move 60, right?
Mm-hmm. And you still got another attack in you as well.
Yeah. And I'm going to use it to try to give this person a good whacking. 13.
13 hits. Wait, who are you
Oh.
talking?
Yeah,
Oh,
boy!
Jesus Christ.
Look at him, he's a killing machine!
Wait.
Holy shit, Joe.
13 plus...
Uh-oh.
Unknown humanoid. Yeah, hits. Never mind. It dead.
It did!
And then I'll just yell for Dana to run.
Who are you and what have you done to Joe?
Right? You should die more often if this is it. Wait, no, not die more often. Die less?
This gangly thing moves here. Yeah, it's still in range of Dana. Because that was the... never mind. Dana, a 4 doesn't hit, but a 13.
No.
and it looks wistfully pleading at Zuck with his glowing eyes as
Please.
Sir Godfrey's turn is up. That's you, Sel.
Yes, I put on my movement,
Yeah.
or Sir Godfrey's movement rather, and he will look up and well, he will not see Baba
Nope.
Lagisa. Instead, he will see. He can see Bax on the ground though, because the darkness doesn't touch the ground yet, right?
Indeed.
Okay, so he will move towards. He will dash and move towards Bax in his direction because he assumes that's where the action is. He doesn't know much really, and that's going to be his turn.
All right. What does Gary do?
Gary will, seeing Godfrey coming up beside him, he then veers off towards Godfrey, and then kind of like just bows his head slightly, trying to say like, "Get on." That's his turn.
All right. Dana.
I'm gonna attack Unknown Construct Gangly with a Silver Sickle. The first attack. Oh, why am I throwing 2 dice?
Because you are poisoned, so your attack roll is with disadvantage. But still,
Oh, ew.
24.
you dropped a 19, but keep the 17, which makes a 24, which is a massive hit.
That's 8 damage. I attack it again with the Silver Sickle, slicing upwards. It's 21.
Still hits.
I like these sickles. That's 7 damage, and with my unarmed strike, I'm gonna spend 1 key point, which gives me Flurry of Blows,
Mm-hmm.
which means, let me look it up for real quick. Flurry of Blows, immediately after you take the attack action on your turn, you can spend 1 key point to make 2 unarmed strikes as a bonus action.
All right.
So, first unarmed strike, that's 21.
Hits.
7 damage again. Second unarmed strike is a 17,
Also hits.
and that is 7 damage again.
All right. This construct, which looks exactly like this, by the way.
Charming.
Haven't we seen those at the winery?
You have indeed.
And at Yester Hill as well.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Does not look good. It looks like it's hoiting very much.
And I go, I will reap you, you weird straw man. And that's
Alright.
the end of my turn.
Okay. So Rudolph will target. Oh no, that's me again. No, that's me again. Can't get him to target me. Maybe we call that turn.
Who are you trying to target?
Seraphin and Trish.
You're targeting yourself now. There you go.
There we go. And then I'll cast Bless on him.
Ooh.
And then he'll move just a little bit. Oh, no, I can't move. I lost his movement.
All right. Where do you want to move him?
Just, oh, it was hang. Oh, switch to right click.
Just place a marker where you want to move him. I'll move him.
Right here.
All right. So that's 25, 30. Hoo, ha, hoo.
And then he'll end his turn right there.
All right. 15 foot sphere?
A 15-foot sphere around her, yeah. So I can only assume she's going to struggle to know which way's which.
Yeah, she doesn't know how far it reaches. Like, from her perspective, it just turned dark.
Well,
What
indeed.
does it? Fly down, fly down.
As far as you know, from her perspective, it turned dark. All right. So, what happens now is... Wait, what?
I was going to say she gives up her life of crime and just surrenders.
Well, she takes off her mask and says, I would have gotten away with it.
Nice.
Well, she moves a random direction, which I rolled, and oh, I can see. And she sees Zucket there. What she does is move, like, hover over the rim of the skull, and she sees Zucket, but she also sees you, Bax.
Can she see me though? She's 45 feet up in the air, and there's a magical ball of darkness spreading around 15 foot. So, would she get me on that angle?
Yeah.
Would she?
If you are 45 feet up in the air,
Yeah.
and there is a ball of darkness around you, 15 feet, that means that anything 30 feet below this ball is visible.
Okay, yeah, good point.
But
Right?
depending on her angle, he would be behind the
That's
ball.
that. Yeah, but that's what I thought. But then, being that it
Yeah,
would
but
be
like if
30 feet, yeah, no, he's right. The angle would be fine. Like if she was any closer to me,
If
or
she was
less than
closer,
30 feet
then-
away, yeah, she wouldn't
Yeah,
be able to see
yeah,
me. Yeah, I get it.
From where she is standing, no.
Mm.
Roll me, Bax,
So,
a wisdom saving throw. Wait, before I do anything, yeah, roll me a wisdom saving throw.
you sure?
Yes.
Okay. 27.
Okay, thank you.
welcome.
And she moves another 40 feet back.
Gosh darn it.
And that is her turn. Trish, you have been blessed. Hashtag stay blessed.
I whisper again at Seraphim. Giant Eagle?
Sounds like the right time, yes.
So then I will hold my action and wait until Seraphim turns myself or us both into Giant Eagles. And when he does, I will fly towards the unknown, towards the Baba Gisa and attack her if I'm in range. Like, I don't know what the flying range is of a Giant Eagle.
It'd probably be 60 foot without a dash.
It's 80.
Oh, 80.
Ooh.
Right.
Yes, might have to dash.
Yeah, 40 up and then whatever across.
Yeah, and you cannot delay movement, I believe.
Oh, you can't?
No, only actions, attacks, stuff like that.
Okay, then I will... Okay, in that case, I'm just going to climb up the wall again.
Well,
Fire.
let me just say, like, because we're discussing this within like this moment, Seraphim would tell you that if you climb over, he could easily target 2 people that are standing there. So you'd be closer, and I could target Dana.
Okay, so I will climb over. I will, I guess, climb down on the other side, if that's what you mean.
Yeah.
No, wait. Wouldn't it be better if you climbed up on the wall,
It stayed up on the wall.
stayed up on the wall, because
Yeah.
then you have 30 feet less to travel.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing. He'd
That's
already
true.
be 30 feet up in the air, which means they only have to move 15 feet up and then across.
That's true. If I'm still within the same range as Dana, then, because I don't know how Seraphim's spell works.
Oh, that's fine.
Because you could still go up the wall, Seraphim, and turn Dana and Trish,
Yeah.
who's standing next to you on the wall. Do you know what I
Okay.
mean?
Don't
Yeah,
ever
so I
tell
will,
me I did not try to help you in this fight.
I will climb up the wall,
Mm-hmm.
and just for shits and giggles, because my range on the short bow should be 120 feet, I think. It's 80, 320, so 100 with disadvantage.
Alright.
So I will fire an arrow at Baba Nagisa with disadvantage.
Alright.
What's that's the bless, I guess.
Yep.
So 17.
It just plinks off of the skull and falls
Wow.
to the ground, hitting one of the sheep.
No!
Oh my god, you killed the sheep! You bastard!
No!
So an arsonist and a sheep killer.
He's
Sheep
Welsh.
hurter.
Oh yeah.
I fall to my knees and like smash my
Damn it, all to hell! Barovia, what have you done to me?
no, that's the end of my turn.
Alright. Seraphim.
Well, in that case, Seraphim will indeed climb high enough, not on top of the wall, but high enough so he can see over the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And he will use a twin spell, which is, let's see, level 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. He will change Trish and Dana into giant eagles.
America!
Okay, Sebas,
Yeah!
I'm gonna remind you, before we close Fantasy Grounds, we have to change them back. Otherwise, everything gets fucked up.
Like the big ape shit.
Yeah, exactly. But if we change it back, it's all right. But it doesn't save the intermediate state or something.
Yeah, I know, it's really weird.
Um,
Alright.
After I've done that, he will like just hunch down a little bit so he's out of view.
How do I apply these effects when I'm rolling the dice and stuff?
Already applied to you, and I think if you the boss, if you share the giant eagle entry from the NPCs or something,
Oh,
I think
yeah, let me see.
I think they can just double click on themselves or something.
Yeah, and it should show the stats for the animal. Not
Yeah, exactly.
A giant
I've been
ape,
trying
badger, bat, boar, centipede, constrictor snake. Eagle. There you go.
I don't see it, but if they do,
It's in the
I see it.
chat.
See it?
Oh, errors.
Sebas,
arrows.
can you share the sheet specifically? Does that work?
No, I've got it.
Yeah, but it works differently from. Like, if you are in the NPC list, you can right-click on the entry and then share, I believe.
Share record.
Yeah.
So it's the second one here.
Holy crap, that's a lot of arrows.
Yeah.
Not on my end.
It is on my end. Can't do anything without triggering arrows.
Well, just
So
you
don't
know,
do
it's
anything.
it's a +5 to hit. Your reach is 5 feet, and it's
Oh,
1d6 plus 3. You make 2 attacks, one with your beak and one with your talon. And the beak is 1d6, and the talon is 2d6 plus 3.
Alwyn, also something that helps is instead of closing the window, just put it like out of view, and it won't annoy you again.
Popping up. It keeps popping up every time. It's very
Yeah.
annoying.
So don't close it, but move it out of the window, basically. So it stays alive, but out of view.
Oh,
Yeah, or put
that
it
works.
behind the map or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, Seraphim, is that your turn?
Oh, wait, let's see. I did not take my spell slot. There you go. Like I said, I hide behind the wall again, so I'm out of view. And that is going to be... No. I have to apply the polymorph concentration on myself, which means that
Haste.
haste drops
Dirk.
on Max and Zucker. There you go.
Bax and Zuck, you both feel instantaneously that
Zoom.
like you feel wop, 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 wop. Everything moves in slow motion for you as we go into a small 5-minute break.
Yes.
Pee time, be right back, bye bye.
Enjoying the music you're in.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
I can't listen to it because then it'll come through my speakers.
Just blast it through your speakers. No one's going to mind.
Right? It's really weird. Like, voices don't come through my speakers and go into my microphone, but music does.
Huh.
It's really weird.
But do you, because Discord has a separate device setting, like maybe it's just not going through your default.
Yeah, I have it. I have it all set up, and with the noise suppression and stuff, it picks up people's voices, but for some reason, music, it puts it right back through the microphone.
Huh.
So,
Well, I'm also gonna go for a quick pee. Be right back.
disconnected. You ain't from my hood, fuck around here. Oh, I don't know. Ah.
Oh, everyone's gone.
No.
You still here? Are you?
Yeah.
Look at you killing things, eh?
Amazing what I can live long enough.
You seem better. Like,
it's-
You
it's
look
clear.
healthier.
I'm hoping
Yeah.
it's next couple of days.
Yeah, you are looking a lot better. I'm looking forward to our next game of golf.
Yeah, man.
He really enjoyed it. She was disappointed she didn't get to play with you.
Yeah, we'll have to get. I'll have to charge my headset.
Hmm.
Baby, it's crying. Don't you hear it?
want to try that table tennis as well because I think that would be great fun.
Good exercise too.
Hmm.
Where's your baby?
Yeah, multiplayer games on there are so much more fun than the single players.
Yeah.
Like hands down, it's so much more enjoyable.
Plus, it's on who you're playing with as well.
There is that as well, yeah.
I mean, you have the great entertainment of myself.
And you have that grounding force that is me. So you know
Right.
that cocktail.
Right. Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I definitely want to charge it up. Have some more. Have some
Alright.
more good.
I need to have a game of Tropical 6 with you and Yorn as well. You're muted. I do apologise.
Yes.
I apologise I've not been around to finish our game. It's just been a bit crazy the last couple of days.
Yeah,
It's been
no
nuts.
worries. Yeah, no.
I'm getting ready for this interview.
Ooh,
So it's alright.
when is your interview?
I don't know. It's sometime next week. But I don't even know why I've got an interview for because it's stupid. I think they just have to be seen to be offering it to other people as well. Which
Yeah,
is
probably.
That makes
dumb.
sense.
That makes sense.
But it's
indeed.
dumb. You can't offer someone the job and then say, "Oh yeah, but we're going to interview other people," even though you've got the job. It's like, oh, okay. Just seems silly.
Have you got the job? I mean,
Well, I got taken in by the manager of the actual depot and my manager, who took me into the conference room, asked me for 5 minutes, and then told me up for the third time that they've tried to do this. They've offered me the job like 3 times in a row now, and this time they were saying they were trying to like.
really want you.
I don't know why though. It's like
Because
the
you're
weirdest
good
feeling.
at what
to
you
act-
do.
But they've more or less essentially doubled my not doubled, but they've it's like half my salary now on top of what I've already got, and the hours I want. It's like they just keep throwing stuff at me to take the job. It's just nuts.
You know what that tells you, Joby?
That I'm
You're making them
valuable.
even more money by doing it.
Yeah.
ask for more during the interview.
For sure. I already have. I did. I already pushed them up a little bit more. It's like, well, but the thing is that they're paying me overtime for all this bits and pieces I'm doing for them, which is fast adding up because it takes hours to do this. Whereas this job, they want anything else I produce for them to like fall. I could work at it at work, so they wouldn't be paying it to them. So essentially, they would be saving themselves money doing it this way. But it's just nuts that to offer just to get offered the job, and again, and it's like, no, you're going to take it. All right, then I'll take it then.
Congrats.
It's just surreal. Thank you. Who
All
knew
right.
that somebody actually needs me?
They love me. They really, really
They
love
really
me.
love me.
Joby,
Mm.
just so you know, seeing as it's your turn after we continue again, when Sabaz said that you feel like this slowness come over you, it actually means that you cannot move or take actions until your next turn.
Wait, what?
This is my next turn now.
Read.
When the
The
spell
last-
ends, the target can't move or take actions until after its next turn.
Oh, that's
Oh.
painful.
Thanks.
That's
Thanks.
the downside of haste.
Yeah, but it's
Oh.
down now, standard turn.
Well,
It's
that
almost like
sucks.
drugs. That's
Oh,
right.
down now.
It's literally speed. Like this spell is literally
So-
speed.
So that's worded in such a way that it's not until you've had a turn after the spell's ended. You have to wait. Yeah, you have to wait
Yeah,
until the end
but
of that
it
turn.
ended before your turn.
Yeah. So now this is my turn where it ended. So I have to wait until my next turn to be able
Yeah.
to do anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically, you just can't move or.
Well, I
take
can't move or take it. Yeah, I can do other things.
All right, and we're back. Bax, what do you do besides move or
I-
take an action?
I spur the team on. We can do it. I call Gary to me. I say, "Sorry, Godfrey, I need Gary,"
Poor
and I
Bob.
summon Gary to me. Sorry, Godfrey, but I need him. I'm screwed. So Gary will move on his turn. He will move to me.
Yep.
That's my turn.
I would just smile. And they smile on my face.
No, that's an action.
Intimidate it. Talk to it, Joe. No, threaten it. Say surrender. You just killed like 3 of his friends right in front of his face. You can do this.
Why I'm smiling.
All right. So this one attacks the eagle standing in front of him. A 22 probably hits on a giant eagle.
Yeah, it is.
That's 6 damage. Giant eagle. Roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Which one?
Giant
Wisdom.
eagle Dana.
Me.
Your wisdom is +2, so roll me a d20 +2.
Yeah.
You're all
14 to 16.
right. Another
Nice.
attack. What's your AC as a giant eagle?
13. It's lower than my actual AC.
Seeing as eagles don't wear armor.
They're wily and eagerly. The straw man misses. As
Okay.
Sir Godfrey's turn.
Yeah, I'm shoving away other entries. There you go.
I would allow you
Godfrey.
to take hold of Gary's reins and just be transported when Gary's turn is next towards Bax, if you want.
I mean, he can just move now and be done with it. I want to know. He moves there. Yeah. Sir
There
Godfrey
he
will move
goes.
there. And he will see and recognize Baba Lagisa there, right?
Yeah, sure.
And seeing as she is flying again in the air, he will use a 3rd level spell with a range of 120 feet called Dispel Magic on the skull. And if it's a 3rd level spell or lower, like fly, it ends. If it's higher, I need to roll.
Let me look up something really fast.
I'll allow it.
You can try, but I'll tell you now, it doesn't work. It specifically says so in the description. So you would not know this.
Yeah, so he will
What?
cast it anyway.
I will tell you now with a little bit of meta magic that it wouldn't work.
Okay,
Meta magic.
good.
I would imagine that Sir Godfrey has seen this skull fly around before, or heard of it, or has his compatriots try to do something about it.
Okay. Well, in that case,
Swing! Bada 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 bada.
in that case, he is going to dash towards her. In any case, that's gonna be his turn.
Alright, so Gary runs up to Bax.
Yes, sir. That's all Gary does. He waits.
Alright,
I pick up the gangly construct, drag it high up in the air, and drop it as I'm flying towards Baba Yaga.
Sure. Make me a attack roll.
With the D20, I take it?
Well, that's basically what you use for an attack. No.
7, no. It's...
No.
Yeah. Well, that sucks. Well, then I fly up until here-ish and start circling Baba Yaga.
Alright, so basically what you do is you have a fly speed of 80.
80, yeah.
Yeah, which means that you fly over this little rim, which would be 15 feet. Because the left side of the map is higher than the right side of the map. Let's not make a thing out of it. 15 feet. She is 45 feet up. So 15. So you would be ballpark here. 45 feet up in the air. Yep.
Yep. Seems about right.
Alright, is that your turn?
That would be the end of my turn, yes.
Rudolph.
Rudolph will on target Trish and Seraphim.
Yeah. Wait, what? He's doing what now?
He's gonna on target them on my.
Oh,
on
on
my-
target. Sorry. Yeah. There you go. No. Wait.
There we go. And then he will dash to this corner right here.
All right. I have to do one thing. Yeah, he dashes to what corner?
That corner
Oh,
right there.
Yep. Which is 50 feet. Hoo-ha-hoo.
Just to kind of get him in the fray here. And that'll be his turn.
All right. What? Pray tell, does Baba Yaga do?
Can we choose?
He surrenders.
He lands.
She
He gives up this life of crime.
He becomes a farmer.
She blames those meddling kids.
I would have got away with
would
it.
have gotten away with it. Seeing as you are a ooh, she has so many things, and none of it is fun for you.
For you.
Yeah. She looks over her little skull rim and points at you. Dana. Please roll me a d20.
Here we go. 2. Oh god, this is bad.
It is indeed.
And I give him my inspiration.
That's before the roll, if I recall correctly. But I'll allow it. Again, you need all the help.
Thank you.
Nah, didn't do shit.
I don't win.
Can I
Please-
give him my
please-
inspiration?
No, it's one inspiration per turn. Please. As this little eagle takes 8d8 lightning damage as a lightning bolt just
Oh god.
courses through the sky and hits her.
How's that chicken?
Ooh.
This was a bad idea.
Which means
Gonna hurt when you hit the ground.
that Dana falls 45
that's
feet.
That's not a problem.
All right. Why? though?
You're a monk.
Yeah, slow fall.
What? Tell me about slow fall.
Beginning at 4th level, you can use your reaction when you fall to reduce any falling damage you take by an amount equal to 5 times your monk level.
All right. So.
Here, I'll
8.
put it in the...
No, I see
There.
it indeed. 8. What's up? 40. Yeah. You fall to the ground, landing in a superhero pose.
Nailed it.
3-point landing.
All right. But that is again a 3rd level spell slot used by Baba.
Draining the swamp.
Oh! Inspiration.
Thank you, thank you.
As Baba uses her skull to fly 60 feet away.
Bye-bye.
Ba-ba-ba-ba.
Oh, she's not gone yet.
She's not gone yet, indeed.
Baba la vlier.
And she moves 10 feet back.
No. I shall remain.
And that is her turn. Trish.
Fly like an eagle.
Trish is going to fly over the sheep pen. Oh, sorry, let me put that 80 feet. And is going to, after seeing what happened to Dana, is going to sweep down low instead of staying high because I already was at 30 feet.
That's smart.
And is then going to dash towards Wabalakisa. Let's say I can move like maybe up to there if I move all the way to the ground.
Yeah. I'll allow it. Are you guys liking the fighting music today?
I'm
That's
enjoying
cool.
this song.
Very, yeah. It's,
Very
I have a,
it's-
I have a hot Oli bowl waiting for me. I'm gonna grab it real quick.
Alrighty.
oh,
Trish, do you want to do anything else? Call at Baba.
yeah,
do a
call.
backflip.
It's like do a barrel roll.
Stay on target. Stay on target.
No, I'm going to end my turn.
Alright, Seraphim.
It is my turn.
Indeed it is.
Is this guy here still alive?
Yeah. Well, alive is stretching it, but he's still constructed and moving.
Okay, Seraphim will jump over the ledge to stand on the wall, and he is going to firebolt the construct. 22.
Yeah, that hits.
That's going to be 8 damage.
He is
And
very
he-
dead.
He is going to. How high was this wall again? Was this the 15 one or the 31?
That's the 31. On the right-hand side of the map are 50.
Okay, so he will use the remainder of his movement to climb down, basically.
Yeah.
Dexterity
check.
Oh, you want one?
Sure, shits and giggles. Anything above a 5 is good.
Well, you get a 21.
Superhero landing.
Obvious. Get good.
Good noob.
Bax.
Bax is going to mount Gary.
Really?
A virtual gaze, yes.
All right. Well, hardly the timer plays, but okay.
Gary's initiative is going to be with mine.
All right.
So,
Next turn. Yeah.
yeah, okay. So I can't move him, can I?
No, because he is on the top of the round.
Yeah,
And he
'cause
already
he's
had his
moved
turn.
his 15 foot, yeah. And I didn't hold his action to dash either.
Nope.
And then I will wait for my next turn.
Zuck, you feel just like Baxter right now, but I didn't tell. You feel like time is catching up with you again.
The immediate threat around is gone now. And Baba's trying to run away. I will move right up there.
Alrighty, there you go.
No, there's that way. But that'll be all I
Alright. Wait, is sheep an actual sound? Yeah, it is. Nice. Alright, Sir Godfrey. What
All right,
do you do?
Well, he hasn't. He doesn't have many options beyond his running. So he's going to run around the pen for 60 feet and follow. That's his turn.
Alright. Alright, that's his turn. Gary.
Gary's he's ordered now going to match mine, so he won't do anything until I do something.
Alright, so that's his turn?
Yeah, his
Alright.
turn will now always be my turn.
Yeah, he holds. Dana. On the ground, in the sheep pen, no exit in sight. A almost dozen sheep looking at you. What do you do?
How close are the sheep to me?
Well, this one is around 5 feet. There's a cluster around 15 feet. 25 feet are the rest, and the furthest one is 40 feet. What do you do?
I walk towards the cluster of sheep within 15 feet. I stand there.
You hop over the sheep in the middle. Bah!
Yes, they're counting humans.
1.
And I stand within the sheep and I shout to Baba Lizaga, Baba, or old hag on skull, how much do you really love these sheep? And I let out a thunderclap as a cantrip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's what's the DC?
DC that you need to overtake, I think you must make a Constitution saving throw. Constitution saving throw is that against my Constitution, by the way?
That's against your spell DC.
Yeah, sorry, I realized when I said it. 12.
Oh, they all fail.
So that's 1d6 thunder for every single sheep.
That means that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sheep are dead. You killed 6 sheep. Are you proud of yourself, Dana?
Wow.
How does Baba Lizaga react?
Kebab.
She looks over the rim
Kebab.
and says, "You'll take their place soon enough."
Wait, what? I literally couldn't hear. I couldn't hear what you were saying. Sorry.
She said, "You will take in their place soon enough."
Oh, I think those were people. Crap.
They sure shit might have been. Not anymore, though.
Main thing is you're not murdering people that we're here to save.
Yeah, let's go with that.
That we know of.
Yeah.
That we know of.
But I will use. I can still move at this point, right?
You moved
15.
15, yeah.
So I can still move. That's over here then. I brush up to these bushes and dive into them. Full well knowing that she's probably gonna
how?
retaliate. What do you mean?
You moved 15.
Yes.
Did a cantrip.
Yes,
How are you gonna move 30 feet?
because I have 45. Oh, right. Never mind. Cancel the movement if you can. I'm just gonna stand there and stare at her, challenging her.
All right. Is that your turn, Dana?
That is my turn.
What does Rudolph do?
Okay, at this point, in Rudolph can see Baba Medusa, right?
Yeah.
And it looks like she's running away, fleeing towards the swamp.
Yeah.
Then Rudolph will walk 30 foot towards Zuck, straight up the side of the wall. And then he'll end his turn there.
Alrighty. You were 20 feet up in the air, right?
No, I was on the ground.
Oh no, I was sorry, I was stacking to Trish. Sorry.
Okay.
Trish, you're 20 feet up in the air?
I was gonna say call it 15, but yeah, sure, 20 works.
Hmm. 20-foot radius sphere. I wouldn't get you, but I would get them. Which is enough.
Who am I going to kill today?
Sorry?
I said, who am I going to kill today?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking about. You know what? No. Trish.
Yeah?
In front of you, you see, as an eagle, a little stream of fire move from her hand to a place behind you that you cannot see. As you hear a roaring fire explode. Give me a D20.
Okay. 11.
Dex plus 3, so that's 14. You take full damage. Which is weird because you would. Oh wait, how much?
1 HP left, baby.
1
Wow.
HP left. Wow. As she said. And moves away from you. And moves away from everybody. What do you do? Do you want to continue or do you want to recuperate?
I say we push on.
Zach wants to double back and go to that tomb where the sun sword was supposed to
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
really need some kind of healing because I'm down to very little.
We also don't want her to get back to her house. Because that's going to open up more problems.
I mean, you
Yeah,
guys,
but she's gonna be faster than us.
Yeah. I mean, we could chase her through, but while we're here, we might as well grab the sun sword, or at least one of us.
I think with the
Yeah,
sun
I
sword,
agree.
we might actually beat her if we can get close enough.
Trish, roll me a
We could beat her if we can
perception
get
check.
close enough, regardless.
A perception?
Yeah, with advantage.
Yeah, exactly.
Perception with advantage. 22.
You can see about 50 feet. Again, the strange wall of fog that I mentioned last session. It's different than the wall of fog you have seen all around Barovia. But as your eagle eyes move and scan this wall of fog, you see a giant tree limb burst the wall of fog. And you know that you have one round until the house is on top of you all.
I know I can't talk in this form, but can I
Nope.
talk? Can I cast message?
Nope.
I am going to fly down to Seraphim.
Yeah.
And like motion him to get on my back.
Right, please roleplay how you motion this.
Ah!
Yeah, like if she bends like her wings or some like it's
Yeah,
I would get the
like
impression.
I land and like bow my head down almost to the floor, and like motion my wing like kind of pointing towards my back.
Okay. As Seraphim gets on your back, he will also do a second level cure wounds on you.
Ah!
And yeah, I'm on your back.
Alright,
Yeah.
Max, what do you do? You
I move up.
60 feet with Gary?
I do. I'll move up and regroup with everybody else. You might as well just delete Gary because I'm going to be on him.
Oh yeah,
Says you
sorry.
haven't moved, so. What are we doing?
Stay too close to each other. That's dangerous.
Are we giving chase to her or what? What's the plan?
Trish, are we in the air?
Can I respond? I mean, I was planning to go. I was planning to rise back into the air to like show Seraphim that there is like a treehouse coming towards us.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, but I don't know if the DM will allow that to happen before it's everyone else's turn.
Well, Bax and Sir Godfrey, you both have one action. What do you do?
I stay here and send a message to ask. If Seraphim's up on Trish up in the air, I send a message to Seraphim and ask him what does he see.
If I'm high enough to see, I will relay back what I do see.
And I assume Godfrey will just... Well, I assume
Later.
Godfrey will keep running towards where he was going, will he? Or look at the horror that's beside him before the dead sheep.
Yes.
Dana.
That's
And
what
look
he
at
did.
the horror.
Smell alone.
And just the look of horror, sheep guts and excrement all over him. Because I can only assume
Roll
it peppered
me
him.
a investigation check. Is it investigation?
But for Sir Godfrey?
No.
For Seraphim?
Skills? No, for Bax.
Okay. What am I
Roll
doing?
me, investigation.
An investigation check. 4.
You're not sure, but it looks like some of the sheep entrails and like hooves are vaguely humanoid.
I put a pin in that.
That's just
Are all the
adding
sheep dead, by the way?
injury to insult there, Jordan.
I know.
No. There are a few sheep still left.
Ah, okay. So they're not polymorphed because they would turn
They would
back
have
to their
if
original
they'd
form.
taken damage. Yeah. Oh no, the ones that got hit. Died.
About 15 of them.
Well, you've managed to kill more civilians than we have in the entire campaign, so
I'm actually quite
that's
proud of
saying
myself.
something. That's it. Well, actually, we don't know the casualties due to Trish burning down Barovia multiple times, so it could be equal, I guess.
Yeah, psychopath
There
buddies.
were no casualties.
But there's none left to report it anyway.
Psychopath buddies.
So I guess we just wait to see news on what's happening. While Suck is running off to try and find something.
All right.
Rudolph will move right here, though, where Dana used to be.
Rudolph. All right.
Yep.
He moves right here.
Thank you.
Dana just remembers the words and is quite horrified by it, so stalks up to the edge of the fence and just kicks it down.
All right. And as you kick it down, you once hear. Zuck, what are you doing?
I wanted to look for, but I don't think it's actually on this map. I wanted to look for that tomb that the
It's
guy went.
not on this map, but you know it's due west.
So I'm gonna go.
East?
Yeah. No, west.
Yeah, it's west.
Oh, okay.
East is the swamp,
Yeah.
and it was on the opposite side of here. So I just start moving towards that general direction.
All right.
And I move off.
One more action Sir Godfrey, then we take a new round. What does he do? As the handler is sucking on his vape, touching
You,
his
sir.
beard,
So,
his mouth,
Yeah, but I'm
his nose.
I'm thinking that he cannot do anything. He just moved here to observe the sheep genocide here.
Well, he can hear something large and ungodly moving towards him.
Okay. In that case, he will move towards it and prepare an attack
oh,
for whenever anything is within range.
It's coming from this side.
Okay.
All right. So that is a new round. Gary's movement is Bax's movement. Bax, where does Gary go?
Me and Gary just stay where we are.
All right. Dana.
Like he'll go, I go.
Dana, you see and hear something ungodly moving towards you.
Can I already see the unknown construct?
Yes. You can.
Okay. I rush over here and over here as I shout, "Walking tree incoming!" And then I hide. And
All
that
right.
would be my turn.
If that is the case, please pass your turn. As
Yeah.
this thing moves 30 feet into view, uses a...
Godfrey triggers.
Go for triggers.
Alright, Sir Godfrey, please.
Dispel magic.
No, he can only do an attack.
Oh. That Dispel magic's an action.
A 22 is indeed a hit.
Okay. It's a prepared attack, basically. So I think, well, we could technically, yeah. Okay, that's it.
Alright. It attacks Sir Godfrey with a 26 as one of its roots hits up from the ground and smashes on Sir Godfrey. That is a whopping 32 damage.
You can take it.
As it tries again. A 14.
Barely hits.
Which is again a slam attack with the roots. 26 damage. So in one turn, well, in 2 attacks, it did 58 damage. As Bax, you see it moving its furthest root, grabbing something from the ground, something heavy, as it is propelled towards you. A 30 does that hit.
What do you think, Mr. Smuggy there? Yes, that hits.
That is 3d8 plus 8 bludgeoning damage as a large stone
This could
hits
hurt.
you square in the shoulder for 19 damage. And you're not very sure, but it looks like it is standing there smugly as it's Rudolph's turn.
Okay, Rudolph will on target Trish.
Alright.
And I know the icon's not here, but I'm assuming the corpse is still here.
Yeah.
Okay. Well then, as his action, he will cast another level 3 spell, but this time he will target himself. And then he will cast corpse armor on himself,
Ooh.
Yeah.
which gives him 25 temporary hit points and brings his AC from 11 to 16.
That's pretty good.
Until yeah, it does seem like a good, really good spell to use. But so he has an AC of 16 now, and
Yeah,
he
let's.
has 25 temporary hit points. But the spell ends when he loses those 25 hit points.
Alright, So let's remember that his AC is 16. The 25 will diminish over time as he gets hit. But let's remember the AC 16.
Yep, and that's his turn.
Alright.
And that was another level 3.
Oh shit. Another level 3 spell gone. There we go. As Baba Legisa, strengthened, bolstered by her allies, or ally, that is, moves there. She points her... Oh, can she make it? Yes, she can. Can she make this? Yes, she can. She points her finger at a place that she knows she can take a lot of people. Yeah, why not?
Well, she has some prime real estate information there then.
Well, she saw somebody move in there.
I guess.
1, 2, 3, 4. That is her last. Oh wait, does she do this? No, she doesn't.
Wait, hold up. Is she still 45 feet in the air?
Yep.
Can she actually see the location?
If you're 45 feet from the air, there's a 15 high wall in front of you. You can see, and she can see basically Zucket.
Yeah, that's the 15 feet side. I forgot about that. I thought it was still 30.
Yeah, if that was the 30, that would be a different story.
If it was the 30, it would indeed be a different story.
You just see the top of his head from there.
All of you feel around and for some reason think like something isn't right here. You all roll a wisdom saving throw. No,
You didn't all roll, only 3 of
a
us.
constitution. No, everybody rolled.
Did
I'm very happy with the blast right now.
Indeed.
Oh, I didn't see my roll.
Trish,
You're not there.
Yeah.
you're a giant eagle at the moment.
Plus
Yeah,
2
but it-
modifier.
Constitution is 1 as well, which is the same as my own. If that's where you're going with your question.
15. Wait, what happened there?
Yeah. No, I was just checking if you roll the con save on the thing. It does give the same +1.
All right. So that means that all of you feel like something is not right, but almost none of you take full damage as this cloud of poisonous smoke billows up around you. As Rudolph takes 0 damage, Seraphim, Trish, and Zuck take half damage.
Be away from here, Trish.
as she moves 20 feet this way. Trish, what do you do?
I start flying, and as I do, I grab Zuckhead. I stay low, and I'm gonna drop him off over there.
Alright, give me a second. Because there's something I need to read. Alright, give me another Constitution saving throw as you start your turn.
Oh. 16.
Wait, hold on, Sebas. It wouldn't have applied on our turn then.
At the start of each of your turns.
Yeah, but we already took the damage.
I know. I'm telling you.
Is it both at the start of our turns and at the moment it's cast?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, let me read it one more time. When the creature enters a spell area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there,
Yeah, either you start
we
there or you walk
enter?
into it. I think this is like spirit, or no, spiritual guardians.
Right, let's
Yeah,
look it up.
It sounds the same as spiritual guardians.
I think when they say enters the spells area for the first time is when you start somewhere else but walk into it.
Alright, yeah, you're right. I was wrong, let's not make a big deal of it.
We'll let it slide.
We'll let it slide. Alright, but the area is heavily obscured. So you would make a ranged attack roll to grab Zuck with disadvantage.
So that's dexterity?
Yeah.
Okay, which... Well, wait. All of my modifiers are the same as giant eagles. Or I guess maybe the giant eagle's modifiers overrode my own?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's because you're
Yeah.
a giant eagle now.
Yeah, okay. So disadvantage dexterity?
Yep. Just roll a d20. Like you try to grab it even though you have a 10 because you have a +3. Oh, it's still a +3, +4. 4 +3.
Yeah, it's only 7.
You try to grab him, but you miss because all this yellowish fog obscures your vision.
Okay, but in any case, I will land where I'm indicating. I will shrug off Seraphim, and I will fly on towards Bax and pick him up.
Right, so where you shrug off Seraphim?
Where I'm making the corner there, so in between those two walls.
DM, would you allow me to...
Yeah, remove the
Tell-
damage.
Huh? No.
Alright,
oh.
so
Okay,
no,
yeah,
no,
yeah,
you
no.
said no.
No, I get what you... I meant that's not what I'm asking. what I wanted to say is that would you allow me to, like, while this is happening, tell Trish to bring me towards Bax?
Sure.
Okay. So I'll tag
Yes.
along towards Bax.
Yeah, so I'll do that, and then I guess I will just I'll keep Seraphim on my back, and I will grab Bax with my claws
Yeah.
as gently as I can.
All right. You can grab Bax if he allows it.
I do.
All right. But Gary,
I unclench.
I see this tower. Trish, Bax, and Gary, like.
it's
This is-
Gary's all the way down.
Right. This is going to be like a bombing run now, isn't it? It's like,
And now Gary's on the floor,
yeah,
looking
I
up at you, Bax,
Poor Gary.
with pain in his eyes once more.
No, I'm not going to leave you. Don't you worry.
All right, Trish, is that your turn?
I don't know, would I still be allowed to dash, or would picking up Bax constitute an action?
Picking up Bash would constitute an action indeed.
And I guess I don't get the the bonus
No.
action that the rogues get. Okay.
No.
No. For my wait, let me measure something. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. I'll stay there. And end my turn.
All right, you're not gonna fly up.
No, that seems like a bad idea.
Damn it. All right, Seraphim.
Okay, so Seraphim, while on Trish's back, asks Bax, do you want to fuck shit up?
Yes! Always!
Grab my hand! And as you grab my hand, I will let myself fall and then grab you, hug you on the way down. And I cast Dimension Door with the both of us right above Baba Lagisa. Fuck her up!
Ooh.
So
This is going to
Bax-
be fun.
Bax and I are both landing on top of the skull with Baba Lagisa.
All right. Dimension door. What is the range on Dimension door?
500 feet.
All right. So both of you are here, basically.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that count as a sneak attack because they suddenly appear behind her and the next attack is Bax, so she wouldn't have noticed that they're there yet?
No.
No.
Is that your turn?
I hold on for dear life.
All right. Bax, you appear in front of Baba Lagisa on her dragon skull, turned upside down. She looks fairly surprised. What do you do?
Am I in a stable platform being... I standing on this skull?
Dexterity check. No saving throw. Dexterity saving throw.
Don't ask, like just do it.
Well, I needed to know. Anyone want to give me inspiration before I roll this?
I will give you inspiration.
Thank you. A 15.
You
Up the
land.
two.
Carelessly, but you land in front of
In
her.
that case, I give her the good news.
Have you heard about our good Lord and Savior, Lathander?
That's exactly what I say. Excuse me. Do you have a moment? Have you heard the good news? Have you heard the good word? And I give everything I have on my attacks. I have advantage. Why do I have advantage?
Well, we're kind of
Flanking.
flanking.
Yes,
Yeah.
right. I am.
Well, you're
Does
not,
a 21 hit?
but a 21 hits indeed.
Up or
I
up.
Also, I'm going to put a level 3 smite on this. There's got to be a
Thank
pattern
you.
emerging, just so that you know.
Yes.
And I give her the good news.
Wow.
Did she finish her concentration, or is she still concentrating?
Well, the cloud of poisonous gas dissipates.
And I continue to rail on her because you know how much I love these people. Oh, so disappointing. An 8. Does an 8 hit?
She dodges your attack nimbly.
And I don't think I have a bonus action. In fact, hang on a memento. Is that a bonus action? 1 memento. Quick read. It's an action. That's unfortunate. As a bonus action, I don't suppose I could kick her, could I?
Well...
Oh! No, but that is... No, that's not. Okay. I think that, unfortunately, is going to be my turn, so... Oh! Sorry. I just think of all the things I can do. No, it's an action. Okay. Yes, that's my turn.
Zuck.
Alright. Zuck will and I'm gonna dash towards the tree.
Alright.
And then that's it for right now.
Alright. Sir Godfrey.
He is. One question: did we hear Baba Lagisa talk or speak out commands towards the tree?
No. You didn't hear.
Okay. In that case,
But you can certainly try what you were trying to do right
no. I'm okay. He is going to attack with his sword
Alright.
on the tree. Does a 10 hit?
No, it glances off its rooty armor.
Okay. Second one. 14?
Glances off its rooty armor.
Motherfuck.
No, rooty armor.
Well, in any case, he is going to position himself behind the tree in matters of flanking and attack of opportunity. That's going to be his turn.
Alright. Gary is... Well, I'll remove Gary for now. Then.
Yes, Gary's not going to be participating from that.
Dana.
Just a question about this thing in the description of Eldritch Blast. Before I do this,
Fucking next
spell
one.
creates more than one beam when you reach higher levels. 2 beams at 5th level, 3 beams at 11th. I take it that's Warlock levels or just
Warlock
levels in general?
No, Warlock levels.
Too bad.
That you even had to ask. Like, you knew. You knew.
Yeah, I did. I move up to 5 feet, still hiding behind the wall, and I fire a Eldritch Blast towards the tree.
Alright, let's have it.
18.
Well. An 18 hits.
Okay. That's 5 damage. God damn it.
Wait, hold on. You have multiple, I think.
There's 2 beams, I believe.
Yeah.
No, that's what I just asked. Is that only Warlock level or normal levels?
No, it's Warlock levels.
Yes, so,
You multi-classed, haven't you?
yes.
Which is why you
Yes.
got one.
And as I have done that, I duck back behind cover, and that's the end of my turn. At least did a little bit of damage. I do have to say I am very tired.
Yeah.
So
All right. So this thing tries to attack Sir Godfrey with a root. A 14.
I think that just hits. Yeah.
Another whopping 37 of damage.
Oh, he also regained 10 hit points at the start of his
did.
turn. Oh, you already did that?
No, it does it automatically. He already did.
Oh. I didn't know that.
And he uses one rock attack at Trish. A 14, Trish.
It's
Alright. Take 18 points of damage as you fall 20 feet to the ground.
Wait, you stayed on the ground, didn't you?
I think I was like 10 or maybe 15 feet in
Oh.
the air.
Okay.
Falling damage is 1d6 for every 10 feet. So roll me a d6.
Hey.
You graceful fucker.
That's three.
Alright, so 1 HP as 45 plus 20. Yeah. Seraphim,
Yeah.
you look up and you see a root try to smash you. You have a +5 on your armor.
Okay.
A 27, would that hit?
Let me check. Yes.
Just.
Just
Barely.
barely, right?
Barely.
Barely. Alright. You take
Anything under 45.
35 damage.
There you go.
And that is the turn of the house. I have a message for all of you.
Is it from YouTube?
No. It's this. If
Going
this works.
long.
We're going long.
Oh, it's 3 of them now.
Yeah. However, we're going long, even though my Sirenscape doesn't run it. But we're going long because we are trying to finish this little combat thingy.
that might become a problem for me.
It always is.
Yeah, I'm living in an apartment of 45 square meters with my girlfriend, who is really itching to go to bed as well. So
All right. Have a good night, Alwyn.
How are you go bed?
I think the point was that the apartment is too small, Joe.
Yeah.
If you need to go, Arwing, then you need to go.
yeah,
Yeah.
See you later.
Later, Alwyn.
good luck, you lot.
Thank you, man. Sleep well.
Oh, no worries.
Good night.
Don't try to kill Dana, please. I just made her.
No
I
promises.
am doing my utmost best to kill each and every one of you.
Bring it on, baby.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Later.
Thank you.
A desperate plea. Don't kill me.
All right, Rudolph, what do you do?
Okay. Rudolph moves right here.
Sounds pumped.
Yes.
All right, Rudolph.
I've got more
moves
shit up my sleeve.
Right there.
All right, he on target himself. And then target.
Yeah.
Then he targets Seraphim back.
Ooh.
And I guess Trish, right? Because it is Yeah. Are they within 60 feet of me? Like, I can't really.
No, like none of them are within 60 feet of you.
Then can you?
I am.
Oh, Trish is.
Yeah.
If I move up to Trish, will that make it 60 feet?
Well, Baba is 45 feet
You-
up in the air.
You'd need to move your foe 30, and then from there.
Yeah, but
It's-
that would mean that you're dashing.
Oh, but from
Not
here would
30.
work, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that would
if he
mean that
moves-
you're dashing, so you couldn't do anything else.
What? 30 feet is not dashing.
But
What do you mean?
didn't
He
say
already
that.
moved.
Oh, right.
Oh, I'm
didn't
sorry.
move.
15,
I'm
yeah,
not-
I was wondering if I moved closer to Trish, if I would be within that.
No, well, we're 45 feet up in the air, so you have to assume the distance between you and us is that plus 45 up. So you would have to be pretty close to us, to like underneath us, to be able to reach us.
Okay, then instead he targets the unknown construct.
Yeah. What, that would be 90?
Yeah.
Alright.
This is a different one. Goes to
Ain't
120.
no bang.
He will cast Guiding Bolt.
It,
7.
it moves wide. It doesn't even hit it. You couldn't hit the broadside of a barn.
Yeah, no modifier is weird.
Yeah.
Not if he didn't put points in his wisdom.
Nope.
No, but he has a very high spellcasting modifier.
His wisdom is +4.
Yeah, but it depends on which class it belongs to.
It's no guiding bolt is definitely a cleric class spell.
Yeah, but what I mean is it depends on which stat it draws from. If it's a concentration.
Guiding Bolt, which is a level what spell? Oh, there we go.
1.
Range +8. So let me try to do it.
In this case.
So it would be 15?
Yeah.
Doesn't hit.
Okay.
Boo.
Alright, that's Rudolph's turn.
So now it's Baba's turn.
Yes, I have heard about the good word. No cool girls.
Seraphim,
Yes.
can you roll me a wisdom saving throw?
Is she casting a spell?
Yeah.
I counterspell.
What does counterspell do again?
If it's a 3rd level spell or lower, it automatically fails. If it's 4th or higher, I have to roll a DC.
Alright. Roll for it.
You can have my inspiration to roll with advantage.
Oh, wow. It's the DC is 10 equal the spell's level. So basically I have to do a magic attack roll because that's the same.
I've unticked my inspiration stat, so roll advantage.
Okay. Advantage. So I could take Firebolt, for example. Well, it's a 23 because the +4 doesn't count.
Wow, unless it's a 13th level spell. I think you've got it.
Shit, it might be. And like, you can tell that she's laughing, and then her laugh turns to a smirk. And that's how it is it?
Yes.
As you say, get good, noob.
Exactly. Get wrecked.
And
Thanks, Joby.
that's her turn. Trish, you're standing on the ground. What do you do?
What's the distance between me and Baba Lagisa?
55, so it would be less than 100.
Would it be? Cause would it be less than 80?
If you move to here, I'll allow it.
Yeah, sure. I'll move there. And take a shot at Baba Lagisa. 22.
Surprisingly, that hits.
Wow. Add 6 damage, and I get sneak attack because Vax is flanking.
Indeed, you do.
Even Seraphim is, which is unique.
Good advantage.
Seraphim, the frontline fighter.
The meat shield.
11 more damage.
She looks very bloodied. Woo!
I will. So I moved 15 feet. I will move another 10. Does that? Can I hide in the bushes from there?
Well, you're outside the bushes.
Fuck. And hiding is an action, right?
Well, for you, it's a bonus action.
Yeah. Yeah. So I can.
Duck down.
Yeah. So I use my cunning action thing to dash and move a bit further, and then I use my bonus action to hide in the bushes.
Isn't your cunning action like your bonus action?
No, it's
A cunning action turns
thought
things
it-
that are
what-
normally an action into a bonus action.
I thought it was on top. Hang on. Let me read that if I can find it.
But because you already shot, you moved, shot,
Yeah.
and then you moved. So dashing would be like a third action. Bonus action on each of the turns in combat. This action can be used only to take
You can-
dash, disengage, or hide. But you cannot move with your. And you cannot. use the bonus action because
indeed.
already
You're
shot.
right. You're right.
Oh. Yeah.
But because I am a halfling, I can hide behind Zuck instead of dashing.
true.
Indeed, because you're
Wow.
smaller than Zuck.
You haven't used that in forever.
Indeed.
No, I am not. So I go like behind Zuck.
Wow, you actually disappeared on the video. That's so funny though.
All right,
Yeah, and that's my turn.
Seraphim.
DM, does this house on wheels have windows?
House on wheels.
What do you mean?
Does it have windows?
Which house?
The walking house on tree roots.
Oh yeah. Well, it has windows on the side and an opening on the front where you can see
Yeah.
a green glow coming out.
Seraphim will look at Bax and say, "You finish this. I'll take care of the house." And Seraphim will Misty Step 30 feet into the house and walk towards the glow. So Misty Step is a bonus action, level 2, tick. So Seraphim is in the house, right?
Give me a second.
Oh,
Seraphim is in the house.
is in the house. Am I getting a map?
Well, you indeed are, Seraphim.
Maybe I can stop the house. That would be awesome.
Well,
Just
unfortunately,
so
the house always wins.
you know, Seraphim, the
Yes?
skull in front of the house is not there. Just so you know.
Yes. Thanks for telling me. Seraphim will move slightly closer to the... Is that called a crib in English as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cradle. Wow, cradle.
In Dutch we call this a crib, but I was like, maybe that's not...
Well, we call it a cradle or crib or
Okay.
cot.
Can I see the origin of the glow in the cradle?
Well, because you are in this little area, you can, for the first thing, quite loudly hear the crying of a baby.
Do I see a baby in there?
You do.
Is the baby glowing?
Roll me a investigation check.
Wow. 13.
This baby, with a 13, you can tell that it is made up of stitched together parts. The colors are disfigured, they don't coincide with each other. Like there's a reddish arm, black torso, pale white head, another black looking leg, a rotting arm, and it's moving almost mechanically as it's crying. And roll me an Arcana check.
Arcana. Natural 20, baby.
You can tell that the sound of crying that you hear is coming from about a feet or 30 centimeters above the crib.
But I don't see the origin of the crying.
No.
Seraphim will cast Mage Hand and try and lift the baby out of the cradle.
All right. This was just flavor. You know, you can tell that the glow is coming from under the crib.
As in under or under the baby?
Under the crib.
Can I look under it?
Yeah, but that will be your turn.
Yeah, sure.
All right. You check under the crib and you can see that from below the flooring are rays of green light emanating.
Like again under the floor.
Under the floor.
Fuck.
That's
Okay,
your
that's gonna be
turn?
my turn. Yeah.
All right, Bax.
Yes.
I continue to give her the good news.
Have you heard again of?
Oh my god.
Come on,
11.
Jody.
Does 11 hit?
It doesn't, as she moves out of the way, screaming, "No, don't touch my baby!"
I give my inspiration to Joby's next attack.
Oh, thank you, Sal. Fingers crossed. Oh yes, I think a 21 will hit. Am I right?
21 does indeed hit.
I will then put a level 3 smite on this one. Doo.
There you go.
Oh, that was some terrible rolls. how's she looking?
I can do this all day.
Yes. Okay, we'll see. That's my turn.
Zuck.
Knowing that I don't want to get too close to the tree, I target. I think I do. Yeah. Okay, so I target Baba Lagista.
All right.
Here in a second. Yeah. And then, actually, I'll move in further for a start. I'll move right there. And then I cast Blindness on Baba Lagista.
She succeeds.
That is it for Zuck.
All right. What does Sir Godfrey do?
Now I see it. He healed 10 points. He is going to attack the tree once again. Jesus, what the fuck is wrong with these attacks? A natural fucking 20.
20.
Because
Wah, 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 wah.
What he wanted to do is make this thing roll a wisdom saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
DC 14.
Well, it rolled a actual 14.
So it saves. Fuck. In any case, it takes... Oh, well, I'm not even sure if it takes this damage, but it's gonna take 46 psychic damage. Oh, no, I applied it to the wrong thing.
So, what is the spell?
It does 46 psychic damage anyway. There is an additional thing that happens,
What is the
which
spell?
is Staggering Smite on the bottom.
Staggering Smites. On a failed save, disadvantage. Yeah, alright.
So he's gonna do his damage because he does get the additional damage, but not the effect.
Mm-hmm.
Construct there. Boing.
Holy hell.
53. It's a 4th level spell, so
That's spicy meatball.
yes.
That's his only 4th level spell slot, right?
Yeah. He has. I did 2 attacks. Yeah, that's his turn.
Alright. Dana cowers in fear. As the unknown construct tries to once more attack Bax. Bax at 27.
27 does hit.
And tries the same attack with its other Rudy thingamajigger. A 31.
Fish.
And that is 29 points of damage as Bax falls to the ground.
Bax
Well.
does not fall to the ground. Bax is still okay on 1 HP.
Really? Because on my end it says dying.
Yes, well, Bax has recently discovered he should read his stuff more often, and I have something. I'll find it, but we'll get to it in a second. But I have got 1 HP.
Right. Let me know what it is before
Yes.
your turn.
I'm going as fast as I can.
As
it.
it uses its last attack. Well, does it use its last attack to do something else, or does it try to attack Bax once again?
Be on the ground, so as far as it can see, I'm down.
Well, no, because you have 1 HP.
Then you're still holding on.
You're gonna have to bear with me because I can't remember what it's called. It's under the Shadow Sorcerer in the UA. It's part of being. I can't remember what it's called.
Um.
Strength for the Grave. There we go. No, I had it. Starting at first level, your existence in a twilight state between life and death makes you difficult to defeat. When damage reduces you to 0 hit points, you can make a charisma saving throw, DC 5 plus the damage you've taken. On its success, you instead drop 1 hit point.
Roll me at 34 charisma saving throw.
You
Fucking
didn't,
roll
no,
it.
no, you didn't hit for 34 damage.
No, 29.
DC
Plus
5
5.
plus the damage you took.
Yeah. So 34. You took 29 points of damage.
Oh, okay. I'll roll it. We'll see what happens.
He
Shits
has
and
a
giggles.
point.
This is lame, but okay.
Shits and giggles. If you roll a natural 20,
I wouldn't. I got +8 to my charisma, so I'd have to roll nat 20, and I still wouldn't even do it.
no,
But a
nat
nat 20 will get
giving
me
it
up.
to
Nat 20, you're up.
Ooh, so close.
So
Close.
close.
Almost.
As
Oh.
you fall to the ground, and in your last breath, you hear. As you hear something uproot something and throw it right past your head at your friend. Double 16, 28. Does it hit?
Oh yeah.
That's 21 points of damage, Zuck. We're going long, but do you guys want to talk strategy without me and reconvene next week, or do you want to finish this shit?
I think we can do this.
Depending on how much longer it runs, because much like Arwen, I have to get up quite early.
All right,
We can keep going for a little bit if you like.
let's go for
I'm-
yeah. Let's go for a
I'm
little
interested to see what happens.
bit. All right, what does Rudolph do? I'm still listening, but I have to grab a glass of water real quick.
Yeah. Well, he'll move up to the fence. And then
God, please help me.
it would. Well, I was getting ready to. Would it heal? I don't know the whole spellcasting works. Do heals bring you back from the dead?
Yeah,
Yeah.
from unconscious.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not actually dead yet. I'm just unconscious.
You're just knocked down.
Yes.
Like it still says dying, so I was just wondering if it would actually apply.
Yeah, it does.
Don't question it. Just do it.
Well,
Does
he's gonna target Zuck and Bax.
All right, not
Because we no
Baba.
longer see Seraphim.
You can target Baba as well if you want to.
No, Zuck and
No?
Bax.
All right.
And then uses his last level 3 and does healing word. Mass healing. Wow.
That's better than nothing.
Indeed.
I didn't even look at the actual dice for it yet. I just figured mass healing word would be really good. It's not really good.
What's the word?
Bird.
Not one.
Well, that's
He
your
said
problem
healing.
there. Because if you
Right.
just said another word like nat 20,
Right, only.
Bird is the word. We all know this.
That'll be it for Rudolph.
all right. That means that next up is our good friend and party favorite, Baba. As she looks and says, and moves right here. And casts a spell on Sir Godfrey. Sir Godfrey fails.
Okay.
And Sir Godfrey is now a sheep. Trish.
I'm still doing like this, so I come out of hiding to see that Zucket has completely abandoned me, and I'm standing there in the middle of a field doing like this. Do I see Baba from where I'm standing, or is the tree blocking
The
sight?
tree is blocking her vision. Yeah, like Baba moved down. I'm sorry. Should have told you.
Yeah. Would I see her if I moved up to like there?
Yeah.
Okay, so then I will just try to shoot at her, which I'm guessing that I can't see how far that is, but I'm guessing that's more than 80 feet.
Yeah.
So I will fire at her with disadvantage. Short bow. 19.
Doesn't hit.
Wow, okay.
Wait, what? Does it?
Are you sure about that?
I'm very sure it doesn't hit. It glances off of the little skull.
Oh yeah, she has the cover thing.
Yeah, I'm going to retreat a bit and huddle with Dana. Huddle or cuddle, I don't know.
Why not both?
Why not both? And then that's the end of my turn. Sadly.
Seraphim.
Do I see Baba Lagisa? Is there like a
No.
window or?
No, because there's windows on the side, but not in the back.
And Okay. The light coming from under the cradle. Do I see a way to open that space, or?
Well, you don't necessarily, but you know that if you push the cradle aside,
Yeah.
you could try to open the floor.
Okay.
And moving the cradle would be a movement action in Pathfinder terms. Because
Yeah.
you just like push the cradle aside,
Yeah.
throwing the baby on the ground, by the way.
Being a bit more careful than that.
No. That's non-negotiable.
Okay.
You will throw this, what you now know is a construct baby, on the ground. And you also know that to make a construct, you would need parts of multiple babies.
Yes.
What do?
I try to open the floor.
Alright, so you push the cradle on the side, the baby falls to the floor, and from somewhere outside of the hut you hear, "No!" I don't know if you could hear this.
Slightly.
No!
Was it Baba Lagisa's voice?
Yeah, it was Baba Lagisa screaming no. Screaming, "My baby!" So you try to rip apart these.
Do I go for the baby or the light? No, I still think it's the light.
Show me the light.
I try to open the floor. Yeah.
Alright, give me a strength check. Old man.
Strength check. Woo! Dirty 20.
With superhuman strength, you grab one of the floor panels and rip it outside. And like, even though you know, like this is not how you're gonna tell it, but you know that all this moist air from the bog has weakened these floorboards. But that's not how you're gonna tell it.
No.
You're gonna tell it like you tapped into a vat of superhuman strength and just ripped these floorboards open. And
I mentioned it. Oh yeah, sorry.
Sorry? No, tell me.
I mentioned this would constitute my action, right?
Well, you rip it open, and below it you see a green glowing gem. And that is your turn. Bax, what do you do?
I use all 35 points to lay on hand on myself,
All
feeling
right.
that I need to pick me up. I then stand up and I look at the house and I say, I could do this all day.
So that's 46 left, right? 81 minus 35, 46, yes. There you go.
And I step towards it and I try to attack it. 12.
Doesn't hit.
Try again. A
Doesn't
12.
hit.
And that is my turn.
Zuck.
Okay. The tree on the as far as the outside is going, it's still more than well off enough to move around and everything, right? Like, is it actively still attacking?
The tree is actively attacking anything that comes close.
So I will stand still, stand back from it, and target the tree.
All right.
And I will cast Eldritch Blast at it.
All right.
14.
It dissipates on the roof tiles.
And then I will use my second one. 15.
Still, another roof tile just glances and this attack off of it.
Still something, but I'm still alive.
All right. I
Small
will
victory.
make Sir Godfrey do another wisdom saving throw, I think. I don't even know what would happen.
I can do it.
Am I a sheep?
Well,
No, I'm not.
well,
I'm not a sheep.
he rolled
and-
a.
Yeah,
Okay.
he is back once again to his former self. But that's his turn.
Yeah.
Dana. What does Dana have? Does she have any healing spells or anything? She casts Mage Hand and caresses Trish. And that's what she does.
Okay.
The unknown contract wriggles. First up, Seraphim. Roll me a dexterity saving throw.
$18.
You are on your knees and you feel this large house try to wriggle and move and buck like a mad bull. And you grab just in time the side of the opening you just made in the floor as you hang on for dear life as it attacks Bax with a root, a 19 Bax. Misses.
No, swing and a miss. Swing and a miss.
Tries to do it again. Natural 20.
Well, it wouldn't hit.
No, a natural 20 would be a 32.
That actually hits.
That actually hits indeed, which makes it
Oh, for Christ's sake.
so you get clumped to the floor as it tries
How much-
to hit.
How much did it hit me for?
53.
I will roll to see if I survive.
Yes. Roll a
19.
58. Ooh, so close.
Yeah, but if I get a nat 20, you said I succeed.
Indeed. As it throws a rock to Rudolph. 16. That hits. Rudolph takes 3d8 bludgeoning damage. And Rudolph still keeps concentrating on that little spell right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Going strong. And that is the Hot's turn. Rudolph, what does Rudolph do? Does he once again say the word?
He on targets Zuck. And keeps the target on Bax. And casts Cure Wounds. So he's still up, right?
Sorry?
He's up, right? Bax is up.
I can still be healed.
Yeah.
So then I cast this on you. Not much.
Well, he's up.
And then he moves. Oh, he moved 30 feet this way.
All right.
Oh, can I one target too? No. Alright, and that's his turn.
All right. You hear a crazy cackling as Baba doesn't move there, moves here, moves down to the floor, and oh, that's her turn. Rolls something against the man who is attacking her baby. Seraphim.
Yes.
A Constitution saving throw, please.
She's casting another spell.
Yes.
I will. Yeah, I will counterspell. I have to.
All right, roll.
Where's my firebolts? There you go. That's well, I.
No, wait. Why?
It's without the bless, but it's still like a 27 or something.
Why is it a +9?
That's my spellcasting ability.
Can you show me counterspell real quick?
There you go.
Using your spell technique, you see plus the spell's level. It doesn't say like use your spellcasting ability plus like DC 10 plus the spell's level plus your spellcasting ability. It's DC 10 plus the spell's level. So basically it's just a regular D20.
No, that's you're talking about the DC, which is 10 plus the spell's level. But what I roll is a D20 plus my spellcasting ability.
Either way, you make it, but I just want to be sure for, like, this is not your final fight.
No. You get it.
Counter spell rules. All right, we'll check this later, but you make your spell, and she is just angry as fuck. As Trish, you're up. She is right around your level, which means that she doesn't have her +5 cover anymore.
So I am Well, as I leave cover, I'm gonna give Dana a little pat, like on the back, and pop out from behind cover.
Mm-hmm.
Stay there. And how far is that? I can't see if that's 70 or... Okay. So yeah, I'll pop out from behind cover and shoot Baba with my short bow.
All right.
20, a dirty 20.
Dirty 20 hits.
Awesome. 6 damage. Do I get sneak attack because I come out of cover?
Yeah, and she is next to Bax. And I tell you right
Oh.
now, how does your arrow hit her?
Ooh.
It catches her right, like in the neck, and like she grabs it, but there's nothing that she can do to stop the bleeding.
Indeed. As she falls to the ground. Seraphim. Oh, sorry,
Yes.
Trish, that's your turn.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna high five Dana because she's next to me,
Alright.
and that's my turn.
Seraphim, you're hanging on for dear life as this large construct is moving, trying to buckle and buck you out of its interior. You have an opening, you see a green glowing gem. What do you do?
I grab my bag of holding and I scoop it up.
You reach in to this
I don't
large...
use my hands, by the way.
What?
I don't use my hands, by the way.
Alright.
Just like with the bag, like, loop.
You basically scoop it up
Yeah,
with
exactly.
this bag of holding, and the bucking of this large construct stops.
Oh, fuck yes. We fucking did it.
You guys killed Baba Lagiza, stopped her moving hut, and you all level up.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, yes. Oh, level 10 gives me some good shit.
Thank you all for a lovely session. See you all next week.
Thank you.